So today I want to talk about the latest episode titles and summaries for the Aim to be a Master series and give you my thoughts and predictions in addition to the latest information, so let's get started. Getting right into it, I think the first thing worth mentioning when it comes to this series is actually the opening, since it's been confirmed that we're getting a remake or remaster of the first opening of the series, which was also titled Aim to be a Pokémon Master. I think it's great that they're bringing back this opening one last time for the final 11 episodes. It'll be the perfect way to relive the beginning of the series through nostalgia while watching Ash take his final steps, which will bring the entire series full circle, just like how Ash has traveled the entire world, making this the perfect tie-in and opening to end the series. I'd love to see a remake of opening 1 with Ash and all of his friends, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now let's talk about the episodes, starting with episode 1, which is titled The Winds of New Beginning, The Endless Road. The summary reads as follows: Ash and Pikachu continue their adventure in the direction the wind blows, interacting with wild Pokemon along their way. Team Rocket are close behind, still plotting to steal Pikachu. As Ash and Pikachu spend their days on an endless adventure in a certain forest, they encounter the injured legendary Pokemon Latias. There's not much to make of this information since the episode title and summary pretty much tell you everything you need to know. It sounds like this is going to pick up exactly where Pokemon Journeys ended, with Ash and Pikachu on their own adventure. The most interesting part of this episode to me is Latias, because everyone wants to know if it's the one from Pokemon Movie 5, and to quickly give you my thoughts on that, I think if everyone was dying for Ash to have Latias as much as we were for him to have Lucario, then yeah, this would definitely be it, considering all the fan service we already got in Pokemon Journeys, but this conversation hasn't really come up until recently, so unless they're going to surprise us, Ash may just help this Latias and be on his way. I think this episode will be about Ash learning to connect with legendary Pokemon on a personal level, which will help him along his path of discovering what a Pokemon Master actually is. As much as I'd love for Ash to catch his first official legendary Pokemon, I'm not sure it'll happen here, but even if he doesn't, I'd still love for this to be the one from movie 5, since I think that was a great movie, and this could be the perfect chance to bring it back. Moving on, now let's talk about episode 2, which is titled Ash vs Misty, a Seaside One-on-One. This episode is set to air on January 20th, which is the following week, and the summary reads as follows: Ash and Pikachu, who continue their journey, arrive at the beach where Ash tries to catch a wild Clauncher, but awaiting him is Misty, a former travel companion. Both Ash and Misty insist that I'll be the one to get Clauncher. Based on the summary, it sounds like Ash will be reuniting with Misty to have a fishing battle for Clauncher, which is somewhat reminiscent of the battle they had for Totodile back in the Johto series, which is pretty cool. In the image we have for this episode, we see Misty and Ash using their own fishing lures, with Ash using the Cilan lure, which is not only a callback to the Black and White series, but also foreshadowing for the next episode. When it comes to this episode, I think it's great that we're seeing Misty again, since she didn't have any major appearance in Pokemon Journeys, despite Ash spending a lot of time in Kanto, so I think it's great that she's reuniting with Ash, doing the same thing we saw her doing when she and Ash first met, which is fishing. I hope we learn what Misty's future plans are in these final episodes so that she can have a good conclusion as well. When it comes to them catching Clauncher, I think there are two possible outcomes. The first is that Misty will win their fishing battle and show Ash that he still has things to learn in different aspects of Pokemon, and the second is that Ash will win and gift Clauncher to Misty, and Misty will point out that Ash has not only grown as a person but also as a trainer, which will in turn push him closer to his goal of becoming a Pokemon Master. I think both outcomes have their merit, so I can't wait to see what actually happens. So now let's talk about the third and last episode, which is titled Brock, Cilan, and the Forest Witch. The summary reads as follows: Ash and Pikachu reunite with their former travel companions Brock and Cilan, but Brock seems to be terribly depressed because he just lost his love. Then suddenly a wild Hatterene kidnaps Brock without reason. Can Ash, Misty, and Cilan bring back Brock? After reading the summary, what I find most interesting is the return of Cilan, since we haven't seen him since the Black and White episode where he departed, and the return special with Brock. Misty being here is interesting as well. I wonder if we're going to get a super traveling team on this final adventure. When it comes to the overall plot of this episode, it doesn't sound too interesting. I'm not sure what Ash will actually gain from this. Unless he somehow comes out of this episode more emotionally mature when it comes to romance, I don't see what else he could possibly gain. My best prediction right now is that Brock will end up keeping Hatterene, or that Hatterene belongs to a trainer that Brock will fall in love with. I'm not sure what this does for Ash, but hopefully Brock gets his own conclusion so that he can have a happy ending as well. With that being said, the last major question to ask when it comes to these two episodes is where do they take place? Kanto seems like the obvious option and the likely case, but you can't find Clauncher or Hatterene in Kanto. Back in Gen 3, we got Sinnoh Pokemon in Kanto during the Battle Frontier arc, but that was only because Sinnoh was coming next, and the only place with Hatterene and Clauncher is the Isle of Armor in Galar and Paldea. But I don't think Brock and Misty would be at either location, so I would still bet on them being in Kanto given everything that we know, but I can't wait to see how that's actually explained. So those are all my thoughts on the episode titles and summaries. It looks like Ash will have some interesting adventures ahead of him in his final journey. I don't expect any major battles until the very end, if any, but I do hope Ash can take something away from every episode as he reunites with all of his former companions. Based on the order we have so far, some have speculated that we're going to see everyone in the order from the final battle, which could mean that we may see May, Max, and Serena next, or possibly Iris. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on these episode summaries in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and bye.